There is always something happening around the world. We are here today to get you updated about events and programs from around the globe. A very good evening and warm welcome to Dharma Television News Time at 9. This is Shrishti Khatki. Moving on to the headlines. The government has ended the session of the Parliament without consultation with the Speaker of the House of Representatives or the Chairman of the National Assembly. The President to end the session of the Parliament. The President did so instantly that the tourism sector will suffer a loss of Rs 41 billion during the lockdown. A young man who committed suicide in Rolpa on Wednesday has been confirmed to have corona infection. Nepal moves to middle income level according to the World Bank. Prime Minister Oldie ends Parliament session. Massive landslides kill 162 in Myanmar. English Premier League EPL Liverpool thrashed 4-0 by Manchester City in first game as champions. 740 people more infected with coronavirus infection. The number of deaths reached 32. Here we go for news in detail. The Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation has estimated that the loss to the tourism sector will be Rs 41 billion during the lockdown period. Announcing the progress report from Chaitra 11 at Singhadarbar on Friday, the ministry said that according to a study conducted by the Tourism Board and the Civil Aviation Authority, the monthly loss is estimated at Rs 10 billion. Out of the Rs 34 billion loss so far, it is estimated that an additional 7 billion will be spent on the lockdown till Shravan, and the total of Rs 41 billion will be lost, said Tourism Minister Yogesh Bhattrai. The ministry said it had sent details of the damage to the airspace to the Finance Ministry. According to the provision of refinancing loan from the fund at 5% interest rate, the time limit for filling VAT for a hotel has been increased from 2 months to 4 months. The ministry said rescue and development work was continued even though the tourism sector was halted during the lockdown. Minister Bhattrai said that discussions are underway with private sector entrepreneurs on opening the tourism sector. Minister Bhattrai informed that the construction work was continued during the lockdown at Pokhara International Airport, Gautam Buddha International Airport and Tribhuvan International Airport. He said that 950 foreigners stranded in Nepal and 879 foreigners by road have been rescued by road transport due to the coordination of the Tourism Board. Similarly, the ministry has stated that a fund of Rs 50 billion has been created through the budget keeping in mind the country's economy. Minister Bhattrai informed that a fund has been set up to address the impact on the tourism sector.
विकास निर्माणका कामहरू जुन द्रुत गतिमा जानु पर्थ्यो त्यो गतिमा जाने समयमै खास गरिकन नेपालको आर्थिक वर्ष र त्यसमा पनि पुँजीगत खर्च हुने समयको अवधिको हिसाबले भन्ने हो भने सबभन्दा पिक टाइम चाहिँ नै हामीले गुमायौँ, सबभन्दा प्राइम टाइम चाहिँ नै हामीले गुमायौँ। त्यो बेला नै हुने थियो। त्योभन्दा अगाडि भनेको डकुमेन्टहरू मिलाउने, ठेक्का व्यवस्थित गर्ने लगायतका कामहरू हुन्छन् र जुन यो 6 महिना हामीले बितायौँ मुख्य चाहिँ प्रगति देखाउने समय त्यही नै थियो। त्यो हामीले गुमायौँ। त्यसमा विश्वले नै त्यो सामना गर्नु परेको हुनाले नेपालले पनि त्यो सामना गर्नुपर्ने स्थिति बन्यो। तर पनि राष्ट्रिय गौरवका केही आयोजना हाम्रो मन्त्रालय अन्तर्गतका छन्। गौतम बुद्ध विमानस्थल, पोखरा विमानस्थल, निजगढ अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय विमानस्थल, पशुपति, लुम्बिनी लगायतका राष्ट्रिय गौरवका आयोजनाहरू छन्। ती आयोजनामा हाम्रो विशेष प्राथमिकता थियो। पत्रकार साथीहरूलाई भन्न चाहन्छु, यदि यो कोभिड-19 को स्थिति नआएको भए हामी गौतम बुद्ध अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय विमानस्थलबाट निर्माण सम्पन्न गरिकन व्यावसायिक उडान नै सुरु गरिसकेका हुन्थ्यौँ। हाम्रो योजना त्यही थियो, किनभने मार्चको 30 मा अन्तिम समय दिएका थियौँ हामीले एयरपोर्ट निर्माणको काम सम्पन्न गर्नको निम्ति, र त्यो सम्पन्न हुनेवालै थियो। त्यो सही ठाउँमै थियो त्यो। तर जब अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय हिसाबमै एयरलाइन्सहरू बन्द भए, कतिपय त्यसका टेक्निकल मेन पावरहरू अहिले पनि आउन सकेका छैन। कोही चाहिँ जापानमा छन्, कोही चीनमा छन्, कोही युरोपतिर छन्, अमेरिकातिर छन्। उनीहरू नआइकन अब बाँकी काम अगाडि बढ्न सक्ने अवस्था छैन। त्यसकारणले हामीले यसको म्याद अलिकति थपेका छौँ र हामी छिटै नै यो हवाई उडानहरू व्यवस्थित हुने बित्तिकै जनशक्तिलाई बोलाएर त्यो काम चाहिँ नै सम्पन्न गर्छौँ र हाम्रो राष्ट्रिय गौरवको आयोजना को सम्पन्न हुने एउटा पहिलो लिस्टमा गौतम बुद्ध अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय विमानस्थल पर्छ। कोभिड-19 को रोकथाम नियन्त्रणको सन्दर्भमा हाम्रो मन्त्रालय मुख्य नेतृत्वदायी मन्त्रालय होइन, स्वास्थ्य मन्त्रालय नै मुख्य नेतृत्वदायी मन्त्रालय हो। स्वास्थ्य मन्त्रालयले अघि सारेका कार्यक्रममा हामीले पुरा साथ दिएका छौँ, पूर्ण सहयोग गरेका छौँ र हाम्रो मन्त्रालयको तर्फबाट गर्नुपर्ने समन्वय हाम्रो तर्फबाट भएको छ। विशेष गरिकन नागरिकहरूलाई, विदेशी नागरिकलाई अथवा हाम्रा नेपाली नागरिकहरूलाई उद्धार गर्ने कुरामा हामीले भूमिका खेलेका छौँ। झन्डै 33वटा जिल्लामा पर्यटकहरू यो लकडाउन हुनुभन्दा अगाडि 33वटा जिल्लामा पर्यटकहरू चाहिँ नै घुमिरहनु भएको थियो। जब लकडाउन भयो उहाँहरूलाई आफ्नो देश फर्किन अथवा काठमाडौँ फर्किनु पर्ने थियो। त्यस्तो अवस्थामा नेपाल पर्यटन बोर्डको सहजीकरणमा हामीले काठमाडौँ बाहिरबाट उहाँहरूलाई काठमाडौँसम्म ल्यायौँ। हामीले वास्तवमा त्यो ढङ्गले जाँदैन होला भनेर धेरै नियमन गरेनौँ। ठिक छ, उद्धार गर्नुहोस्, यताबाट पनि लानुहोस्, उताबाट पनि ल्याउनुहोस्, सरकारको तोकेका प्यासेन्जरहरू हुन्छन्, जोसुकै ल्याउन पाउनुहुन्न, स्वास्थ्य प्रोटोकल फलो गर्नुहोस् भन्यौँ। तर पछि हामीले कम्प्लेनहरू धेरै आइसकेपछि यो यात्रुहरूलाई अलिक ज्यादा पैसा उठाइयो भन्ने आएपछि त्यसमाथि अलिकति नियमन गर्ने काम गऱ्यौँ, अनुगमन गऱ्यौँ र त्यसमा मन्त्रालयको तर्फबाट एउटा कार्यदलै बनाएर अध्ययन पनि गऱ्यौँ। अस्ति रिपोर्ट पनि आएको छ। त्यो रिपोर्ट आएको छ। अझै मैले के भनेको छु भने यहाँबाट चार्टर गर्ने, नेपाल एयरलाइन्सलाई चार्टर गर्ने जति पनि ट्राभल एजेन्सीहरू छन्, ती ट्राभल एजेन्सीहरूले कुन कुन व्यक्तिलाई यात्रुको रूपमा लगे र ती व्यक्तिहरूबाट प्रति व्यक्ति कति पैसा उठाए, उनीहरूको एकाउन्टको चाहिँ नि सबै अध्ययन गर्नु भनेर मैले नेपाल नागरिक उड्डयन प्राधिकरणलाई भनेको छु।
A 31-year-old youth of Gangadev village municipality had committed suicide by hanging. He had come from Dubai on July 26 and was living alone in his own home. During a self-examination conducted at the Rapti Institute of Health Sciences in Dang, corona infection was confirmed in him on Friday, said Ward Chairman Man Bahadur Dangi. After his death, a sample of his swab was collected and sent to Rapti Institute of Health Sciences for PCR test. Chief District Officer of Rolpa, Narendra Kumar Rana, said that coordination was being made to manage the body in Dang as the body was in the morgue of Rapti Provincial Hospital. Coordination is underway with Dang Chief District Officer Govinder Prasad Rizal and officials of the District Disaster Management Committee for the management of the bodies of the infected. According to the latest country classification by income report published on Wednesday by the World Bank, Nepal has officially moved up to a lower middle income country from a low income country. The classification, which are updated annually on July 1st, are based on gross national income (GNI) per capita. Nepal saw its GNI per capita rise to $1,090 last year from $960 in 2018, surpassing the $1,036 threshold for lower middle income countries in 2020. GNI is the total amount of money owned by the country and is used to measure the country's wealth. The income includes the country's gross domestic product, GDP, and the earnings it received from overseas sources like remittance. The World Bank assigns the world's economies to four income groups: low, lower middle, upper middle, and high income countries. In each country, factors such as economic growth, inflation, exchange rates, and population growth influence GNI per capita. According to the World Bank, countries with GNI per capita of 12,535 are considered high income, while the upper middle income status countries have GNI per capita of 4,406 to 12,535. Similarly, the lower middle income categories includes countries with GNI per capita of 1,036 to 4,045 and countries with GNI per capita of below 1,036 are considered low income. The bank said that it has taken account of the income classification through the use of GNI of 2019, which does not yet reflect the impact of COVID-19. The government has ended the session of the parliament without consultation with the Speaker of the House of Representatives or the Chairman of the National Assembly. The meeting of the cabinet held on Thursday afternoon decided and recommended the president to end the session of the parliament. The president did so instantly that the leaders of the NCP had also said that there was no consultation held with them. The opposition has also expressed dissatisfaction on the move. NCP's political analysts have expressed fear that the Prime Minister might be preparing to take some serious steps by ending the Parliament session. After this step by the Prime Minister, senior leaders of the NCP, Prachanda, Jananath and Bamdev, have been involved in emergency consultations. The Prime Minister had headed to the President's house after holding consultations with both the sides of his party in Kumaltar, Prachanda's residence. Meetings and consultation have increased after Oli was criticized by the majority in Tuesday's meeting. The Prime Minister has met with his ministers and supporting leaders since then. A massive landslide at a jade mine in Myanmar has killed at least 162 people. A moment captured in a dramatic video showing a wall of earth sliding down a mountain slide into a water-filled open pit. About 12 hours after the landslide, the Myanmar Fire Service Department said it had recovered 162 bodies and that 54 people who were injured had been taken to the hospital for treatment. The death toll makes the disaster the worst known in the jade mining industry, surpassing an accident in 2015 that killed 113 people. The jade miners were smothered by a wave of mud which hit after heavy rainfall, the fire service said, according to the Associated Press. Reuters says the victims were mostly jade pickers, people who sift through tailings to scavenge small bits of the semi-precious stone. The landslide occurred in Kachin State, about 600 miles north of the country's largest city, Yangon. Kachin is the center of the world's most lucrative jade mining industry. Myanmar's jade industry was estimated to be worth $31 billion in 2014. Video posted to social media showed miners racing uphill to escape the avalanche of mud. A local official had warned people not to go to the mine on Thursday because of heavy rain. Looking at the sports news. Already the Premier League champion Liverpool have been brought back down to earth as they were thrashed 4-0 by Manchester City in Etihad Stadium. City showed respect to the title winners with a guard of honor before kickoff, but it was strictly back to business soon enough as Kevin De Bruyne's penalty put the host ahead after Joe Gomez had hauled down Raheem Sterling. Sterling then turned scorer, slotting into the corner from 10 yards after Phil Foden's pass, and then Foden got in onto the act, rounding off a fine move following a 1-2 with De Bruyne. Sterling had a say in the fourth as his shot was inadvertently turned home by Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain for an own goal, meaning Liverpool were 4-0 down in Premier League game for the first time since their 5-0 defeat in this fixture in September 2017. Coronavirus update. Further 740 people have been infected with the coronavirus in Nepal on Friday. An additional 740 people tested positive for the coronavirus in various laboratories across the country. Spokesperson of the Ministry of Health and Population, Dr. Jageshwar Gautam, informed that the number of infected people in Nepal has reached 15,259 on Friday. 823 people recovered and were discharged after treatment. Including this, the number of total discharges has reached 6,143, said spokesperson Gautam. Similarly, another corona-infected person has died in Nepal. An 85-year-old man from New Baneswar has died. Spokesman for the Health Ministry Gautam said the patient with hypertension and Parkinson's had died at a private hospital. Including this, the number of deaths due to corona infection in Nepal has reached 32. Currently, 35,472 people are in quarantine. This is all for now. Thank you for being with us. Keep watching Dharma Television for more news and events. May all the sentient beings be at peace. Stay safe.